How you guys doing, man? This is the last day of the month, and you know how I do it on here. My trade review for last week and the new market insights for the new week. That's the new month we're entering. That will be the month of June. So I'll be very fast with this. Let me take you guys through what I did last week. Last week was a pretty stressful week, though. I was on a trade, but that trade moved about 100 pips plus, but still went back to hit my break even. That shit was exhausting. So yeah, I'll show you guys. This is GU on the weekly time frame. As we know, GU isn't doing much, just on a range bound for the weekly. So normally I don't draw zones on weekly, just for market bias. Currently, GU is ranging just as DSY. You know, DSY is the opposite of GU, or GU is the opposite of DSY, anyhow you want to put it. But yeah, two of them they work in the opposite direction. If GU be buying, then DSY will be selling. So let's just analyze the chart and see what we can find, and know what we'll be having for the new week. So this is the weekly time frame. All we can see clearly that after this break of structure here, the market has been ranging. You can see from here to this peak price, to the base, to the peak, down to the support zone again. But from the last push, it couldn't get to the major high where it do react from. So we saw a reaction, a seller's reaction from this supply zone here. I think this is what caused this whole reaction, this supply zone. So yeah, let me go down to the daily time frame quickly and see what we can find. Here, this is where I start drawing my zones now. So I will take this zone to be the resistance. Hold on. And I will duplicate that. Yes. So these are the two range bound we have on gold. The resistance and the support that gold is reacting, that G is reacting from. Good. This is GU. So yeah, let's see what we can. Starting from the resistance, we had a push to the downside, seller's reaction. We got a retracement, then selling continuation, another retracement, and we got a push to the downside. This was another retracement, then a lower low, lower high. It gave us a lower low, and here is our last lower low. So we'll call this the sell break of structure. Break of structure for the sell bias, for the sell trend inside the range bound. So you can see this correction pattern, this double pattern. With this pattern, this market bought to the upside. Firstly, it couldn't break above so quickly. You can see the seller's reaction from the week of the daily candlestick. But there was a lot of buying pressure. We finally saw the breakout. If you have been following me, you will know this already. So yeah, we saw the breakout, and we should name this a change of character to the upside. Now what can we see? We saw a retracement after the push. Then we got a new break of structure to the upside. This was a new break of structure. And since then, the market has just been ranging on the daily time frame here. ranged a bit here. Then you see the sellers take over. I don't know, whatever. Okay, this was the supply zone that the markets reacted from. I showed you guys this supply zone on the weekly time frame, and I can still show you guys again. Let me see. Yeah, this was the supply zone. You can see the supply zone. So on the daily, I will just use a different bar color to differentiate it. Now from this seller's pressure selling down to the downside, we saw a change of character. And this is our current trend now on GU. This is our trading range. This peak price here, this place here to this place. Yeah, because that's where I'm anticipating that market to get to before any other reversal, except it breaks above. When we go down to the 4 hours time frame, I'll show you the immediate lower high that is there before this change of character happened. So basically, this is what we'll be using. The only information we need is this change of structure right here, and this break of structure, this change of character and this break of structure. So let's quickly go down to the, okay, hold on, using my fib from this place, placing the fib from the lower high to the lower low. Then what can I see? I can see that, okay, there is a zone here, there is a supply zone here on the daily time frame. This is my 61 fib level. Yeah, from this 61 fib level, we can see a good reaction on GU, sell to the downside. I took a trade here last week. Don't worry, I will show you guys as we go down to the lower time frame. That was the 4-hour structure trade. So let's go down to the 4 hours quickly. What can we see? Not very much difference from the break of structure, from the change of character that we saw here. Then the high, a lower high, a higher low, sorry, a new higher high. Then give us this range that couldn't build a new higher high. We saw the sellers reacting from that zone to the downside. First of all, you could see that from this bar there's a buying reaction here, but the sellers was very strong and the buyers couldn't do much. So you can see the reaction from the sellers, taking the market down to this price here. So however, that's to say, we'll call this our immediate lower high that broke the structure here. And don't forget, this blue bar is our major zone where we are waiting for. This is the daily bar, and this zone is a very strong zone that I'll be waiting for G reaction to see if I'll be dumping the market or not. I just know that as long as G doesn't break above this last lower high, we are still on a downtrend move. I took a trade here last week because I did something like this, drawing this fib from the immediate lower high to the lower low. The price was sitting at the 78.6 level, and seeing the 3 ninja candlestick that I do trade, I entered the market from around this place and gave it 45 pips SL, guys. And also, I think I made 2 mistakes. The SL was too much, and also I didn't even take my full percentage. I was being conservative on it. I was trying to play safe, and the market dumped. I was targeting over here, and I only needed few amount to pass my profit. I was targeting all the way down to this place, but as you can see, the market just swept liquidity and reversed on me. You can see after the sweep of this whole liquidity, the market just reversed. I also took my second entry after seeing that the market wasn't able to break above this last lower high here. I took a second entry, but that entry got burnt. Yeah, I had a loss there and a break even on my initial entry. So that was it for last week. This week, what I will be looking at won't be much. I'll just be sitting on my hands to know what the market will do. I'll let the market tell me what it wants to do. All I can see from this reversal, from the retest, is that we're still on the high. We saw this higher high, and we saw this change of structure here. And this change of structure means a lot. Yes, there's a change of structure here. From the minor trend, don't forget, the minor trend and major trend are very different. So this trend here is the minor trend, and all of this from here to this place is the external trend. So from the minor trend, you can see a minor change of character already, showing us that okay, this market is still on a downtrend, still going to the downside. So we just have to find the zone where this market will likely retrace from, since the sell is still valid. So we just have to wait. Markets open, will decide. Even if the market breaks above here a little, don't fidget, just chill, knowing that as soon as it doesn't break above this last higher low here, or this last lower high here, we are good. We are still on a downtrend. Yes, as soon as it doesn't break above this bar, this blue bar here, we're still on a downtrend. I can take this out because the market has already reacted from there, just to keep the charts clean. Yeah, this is my new 61.8 fib level on the, hold on, let me see. Yes, that's my 61.8 fib level on the daily time frame, and I'll be looking out for that zone because it's stronger than any zone I'll be taking around here. So since that is the daily zone, I just have to be patient. However, you can see this rejection from this candlestick. So nobody knows what will happen on market open tomorrow. You just have to wait, watch and see. Just have to watch and see. And that's it basically for GU. I'll just be expecting either price to do some like coming to this zone, then a huge sell-off, or what will invalidate this market is when price breaks above this lower high to the top of this bar, then retest and keep pushing to the upside. But yet it's still on the downtrend, so don't be deceived. I think the market is just, this also was due to the news last week. So yeah, just be patient and watch out for these setups. You don't have to do much, just wait. And by next week, if I see the entry, I'll be dropping the entry on my shorts video on YouTube. So if you're active and following me, you can just on your notification and be waiting. I don't trade too much. Last week I only had one trade on GU, and that's all, because I didn't see much. Okay, I saw another entry on gold. Okay, quickly let's go to gold, but I missed that entry. Yeah, let's start from weekly. Hold on GU, let me just give you guys a blueprint of what I'll be expecting. Price comes here, I'll be dumping GU to this place again. Yes, I'm strong on this sell because it's still on a change of character. We just had a change of character and we should be having a new break of structure to the downside. And this is structure wise and not just guesswork. But what I'm also skeptical about is DSY price movement. Seeing that DSY broke its range to the downside and retesting that range bound. If we are to see more sales from the DSY to the downside, that means GU will be buying. So guys, don't be in a hurry to take trade next week. Just chill. Even when the price gets to this zone, wait to see the seller's reaction. You have to be very patient. Don't be quick to to click or enter a position. Just be patient till you see the seller's reaction, like some few red candles. Yeah, you know your confirmations. So just be patient. Patient trader wins here. So let's move on to gold. I love gold so much. I know if it was gold I took on Friday, or I think that was Thursday or Friday last week, I would have, that 100 pips would have given me all the money I was looking for. I had the 100 pips on GU and I couldn't even make the profit I was expecting to pass my prop firm. But yeah, we'll move on. So on gold, what we can see is gold is still on the downtrend, even though it's rejecting, as I can see. So let's just do the rough analysis. This is the high, the peak price that gold got to 5,006. Then the sellers brought it down, came to retest the supply zone around here on the daily time frame, sold. Now we see a retracement buy, then a sell continuation. Yeah, knowing that it's still on a downtrend, but look closely, you can see the sell rejection. This is the weekly. Sellers took this price all the way down to this place and buyers rejected it from here up again, closing the market at, this is not a doji, I would say a weak pin bar. This is a doji, the second candle to the last one, to the present one. You see, this is a doji, this is an indecision candle, but this is a weak pin bar. But as you can see, the rejection was very long. About, let me say, that was about 170 pips rejection. So you can see that's much. Let's go down to the daily time frame and draw the zones and break the chart down. First of all, this is my supply zone, big price. And here is the visible support zone that I can see that market is reacting from. And if you watched my video last week, you'll be familiar with this fib level retracement that I'm drawing right now. I took this level last week, letting you guys know that okay, the market should be dumping if it respects this level. This is 1 fib level. The market should dump all the way down to this place, even down to this place, but this should be our first level target. I said that on my last video, even before this stuff happened here. This should be our first level target on gold. So as you can see, behold, market just did exactly that and rejected. I know why it rejected this much was because of this zone was also a strong zone. Even though it hasn't gotten to the take profit price that everyone is waiting for. So let's go down to the 4 hours time frame and see what the market is doing. I'm still on a downtrend here on gold though, except the market really break structure. So let's see. What can we see from the daily? Hold on. This is the sell trend and lower high, a huge seller's reaction, lower low. Got this high, got this rejection. You see the rejection, market went up here. Then all of this, there was no current break of structure after this first break of structure, and the market sold down. Hold on, let me mic that shit up. Yeah, this was the break, and this was the candle that caused the break of structure here. So since this is the candle that caused the break of structure, and we couldn't get a current break at this top here with a good candlestick. Okay, I have a twist here. Looking at this candle very well, you can see that this information is very crucial, but I will tell you guys. I'll be very open. You can see this first candlestick, this selling candlestick here, this sell pin bar here. You can see the wick tried, buyers tried to break above that the last week, but you can see the seller's reaction. The market went down all the way down to this place, and you can see the second candle was also a selling pressure reaction. Buyers tried to push it up, but sellers closed below. And the third one was a buying pressure candle. Sellers took over at first, but buyers took control over the sellers and pushed the price up, then weaken it down again. There's something I want to show you guys. If you see a valid break of structure, has to be, if you see, hold on, how do I yeah, so if this is a candlestick and another candlestick here, and there is a wick, I see this wick, and if there is, hold on, if there is another candlestick at this place that first of all caused a break of structure. For example, this was a valid break of structure candle from whatever price zone it's coming from. Then as you saw this first break of structure, then you saw the wick price reaction all the way from this place. You saw the buyers. Let me change this color of the candle to green. Yeah, and you saw the buying pressure. The first wick, if the candle first of all breaks with a wick, that's not a valid break of structure. But if you see the other candle beside that first break, and you see the wick above the other recent wick, then that means you have a valid break of structure right there. You should do your research about this. I don't have to break everything down to you. You also do your research. Don't take my words for it. Do your research, guys. Yeah, this is what I learned after a few years of trading. So this is a valid break of structure. That's what we can see here. Also, it happened here. look at the first break. This wasn't a first valid break. Hold on. Okay, let me just, this is a break of structure, and this wasn't a valid break from the daily. But as you can see, this other candle wicked down below this first sell candle here, then we got a valid break of structure before we can call it a valid break of structure. But if it was just only this red candlestick that reacted here, and maybe this other green candlestick was somewhere half and not below the red candlestick, then we won't consider it a valid break of structure. What I mean is something like this. Before the selling pressure, this, you won't consider this a valid break of structure to the upside. No, this instance is for the uptrend I'm giving you, but this happened on the downtrend, so just know the difference. So since we see the weak candle above, we can consider that a valid break of structure. So let me quickly take this out and focus on what we have today. I'm trying to be as fast as possible, and also trying to make you understand what I'm doing. So since we got the break of structure here, we'll consider this our recent break of structure. If you even go down to the lower time frame, you confirm the structure break. Here we saw a market change of character, because this was the last candle that changed the structure here. This initiated everything. Then we got a change of character, we got a retracement to this supply zone here. Yeah, there's a supply zone right here. Then we saw the huge sell pressure coming. Then giving us another break of structure. This first sell was initiated from this reacted this 61.8 fib level. I didn't carry this sell because I wasn't really looking at it that way then. So yeah, now we got a present break of structure. So let's go down to the 4 hours time frame and get our major trend and bias. Now you can see that this is a valid break of structure on the 4 hours. You can see the candle. Yeah, the first one wicked out, we won't consider it a valid break of structure. But as soon as you see the other candle wick, we saw that on the daily time frame. So coming down to the 4 hours, you can see the candle reaction there, and also here too. Yeah, this is the first week and this is the second week, so it was a valid break of structure. So currently on gold, I'm still on a downtrend on gold. I will only change my bias because there is a zone here, there's a supply zone here, and I can see that okay, the price just came to sweep liquidity. And then let me differentiate that zone. That should be my 4 hour zone. Yeah, and this zone too, I would like to consider that as my daily zone. That should be the 4 hour zone there. So yeah, this is what I'll be looking at for. I'm still very bearish on gold as I'm seeing this price now. Gold hasn't broken its last lower high, just wicked out, and this could be a liquidity sweep because there are many orders here. Remember, the SMC guys will know what I'm talking about. There are a lot of orders sitting around that place. So I think price, first of all, last week swept the liquidity, and we could be, it's under probability, this a lot of liquidity sitting right here. So much liquidity. Sellers entered here, sellers entered here, sellers was here too. So you can see the wick above, and all of them, all this selling pressure, so all their stop loss was placed on top here. just a little bit above that bar, that resistance bar. Yes. So I think the market just swept liquidity, and we should be seeing a price push to the downside. But what will invalidate this whole structure is if I should see a break, a candlestick break above, or just as I explained, a wick above, again closed, that should close above here, then I'll consider it okay, a good change of character. Then I start looking for buys. But for now, we are still on the downtrend, guys. So don't even change your bias yet. We are still downtrending. I am anticipating that market to get to, hold on, from my daily time frame. If gold should, I said this last 2 weeks. Yes, I said it last week, not last week. If gold should obey the fib level structure that I trade, I should be seeing price fall all the way to the 0.0 fib level. But it won't just go like that, because here you can clearly see that there's a support zone there, and it's very strong. It has already reacted just twice, just one. So here it's missed it, so we won't consider that. And you know that the third touch of zones, third touch are always strong. So just be patient and see what happens here. Let me go down to the 4 hours and make it very more understandable. Currently, I'm still on the bearish bias, but if I would see a candlestick above this last lower high, then I'll be changing my bias. I'll just have to wait for a fib level retracement then to take my trade. Maybe if the price could get to this place, either the break and retest guys have their trade, or the price comes down to test this gap here around the 61 fib level or the 78 fib level. And if the price would do that, you'll be seeing a good inverse. Hold on, let me just clone this. You'll be seeing a good inverse trade, inverse head and shoulder. So this is just my projection to the future, whatever happens. But before you take any trade from this zone I just drew now, this right shoulder that is about to form, please just wait for the break of the change of character. As you can see, wait for the change of character. We might get a change of character and the price don't get back to this zone. Maybe the break of structure guys will have their way, or maybe if I see a momentum build here before the break, then placing my fib, I could get my trade entry from this other zone. But the most realistic place to wait for this market should be here if we get a change of character. And also using my trend line, this place is a zone that I'll be interested in. If it breaks, comes back here, then I will be buying to the upside. But currently, I'm on a sell trend, still on a sell bias. I haven't forsaken my sell because I haven't seen a major character change. So this is just a potential, let me label it down, potential change of character. As a PCHOCH. So let's just wait and be patient. That's all for gold. If we can't get a change of character, we'll be dumping the market down back to this place. This zone yet shouldn't be visible for now, except we get a change of character. So yeah, that's what I'll be looking for by next week open. Yeah. So let's just wait, be patient. Don't be quick to take a trade on Monday. If you come across this video, guys, please like, share, comment. support the channel. That would motivate me to do more, be consistent and everything. I'm trying to be, as you can see already. So I know I'll be very more consistent with you guys on here. I'm still doing a faceless video, so for the meantime, let's just go with this first. Let's just go with this for now. Or maybe later, yeah, I will. Under probability, I'm not making no promises. So please like, comment, and share. Subscribe to my channel. And that's all for today. I'll be seeing you guys next week. Peace out.